Science versus religion. You can't be a Christian and believe in science. Christianity is based primarily on the resurrection of Jesus, who was killed yet became alive. Because of this, he told us we can survive death, go to heaven or hell, depending on how we've lived our lives. Science says that once the human brain is dead, we cannot exist, cannot be aware that there can be no life after death because our capability to think comes from our brain. Once the brain is dead, we can't possibly be aware. We can no longer exist except as a corpse. I don't believe this. Yeah. Also, if you believe in science, you can't really believe in God, in spiritual forces, in anything beyond the five senses, in anything which is based on something which has no physical basis. Science has been great in many respects, and we're becoming more and more scientific in a way. The Industrial Revolution, cars, planes, now computers, artificial intelligence, AI. People are creating music, art with AI. We may start creating human robots, which will be hard to distinguish from actual people. They will be able to talk, make sense, seem to be smart, but there is something missing. They have no soul, no real creativity, no real joy, sadness, love, I would think. Maybe people are more than very complex machines. Maybe I like Jung better than Freud. That there is synchronicity, intuition, hunches. Can machines really love? They may be smart, but do they get pleasure in being smart? Isn't there going to be a sort of coldness in a robot? Maybe a person who is really an atheist can't help but feel some hatred toward a believer. That even though he or she doesn't believe in the so-called fairy tale of life after death, God, prayer, people feel contact with those who have passed away, loved ones, they can't help but think they're missing out on something, a joy, a pleasure, something more than physical pleasure. What about near-death experiences? How can the person who is clinically dead or in a coma, sometimes even for hours before they are revived, seem to have been aware of things, floating on the ceiling, hearing people talking, being accurate in what those people said? As Shakespeare said, there is more in life than is dreamt of in your philosophy, Horatio, or something. What about UFOs, UAPs? If they exist, how can they travel so fast without any apparent means of propulsion? How can they travel, stop, or be completely still in the sky? Maybe there's sometimes seem to go into another dimension, disappear, reappear, or so I've read. There's more going on in the world than our punny science realizes or says is possible, or so it seems. If these UFOs are from another planet outside our solar system, they must have traveled far faster than the speed of light to get here. What about our past on Earth, the pyramids in Egypt, South America? It seems to me none of these people in the past could possibly have constructed them with the apparent technology of the time. So maybe aliens constructed them with tools like anti-gravity or being constructed incredibly fast, maybe somehow outside our time constraints. What about channeling? The whole of the Old Testament was pretty much written by prophets who channeled God, the Lord, and how the Lord is helping us. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake, etc. Of course, a lot of awful things have been done in the name of religion, but so-called atheistic countries have probably done worse. Mao in China, Stalin in Russia killed millions of their own peoples. Still, it remains. If you believe in Western science, you can't really believe in God, the soul, life after death. Maybe science is only part of the answer of how life, the world, works, and that our spirits, souls exist after we become merely skeletons. Thank you.